Nancy Pelosi appeared on Face of the Nation this morning to be asked about stimulus checks, and she might as well have thought it's Face of the Nation because she gave much of no answers. Might as well have told us about Fenty Beauty's new makeup line. But the extent of the interview was, there's progress. I love when Nancy Pelosi gives us incredible details, and then she comes in the same breath and says the president's not telling us anything. Leading to say, kettle calling pot black, or black calling the kettle pot blue, or... meet me at the Cowzilla because we're about to tip some things over. This is Evenings LALATE. Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Evenings LA, and I hope you're good and safe on a day in which a lot of crazy things have happened, and we're certainly still not done. I'm here, you're here, and someone's driving around the block in an armored vehicle with a Secret Service agent just 5 inches away from him. But needless to say, go to the bonus channel, subscribe, because I'm here for you, and I'm not driving you around in an armored vehicle. And also like this video. I'm going to have incredible details tonight for you about where we are on second stimulus package and second stimulus check, as Nancy Pelosi actually came out of somewhere, even though she should be on self-isolation, but that's not science. Needless to say, she talked about science about 10 times in that interview. In this report tonight, I will be going over a lot of stuff for you, so I have a lot of breaking news, and none of this has to do with the president, ironically. First, I have Nancy Pelosi's comments about second stimulus and where we are tonight, and what went on over the weekend. Needless to say, I sort of, wonder if she had $8 ice cream, if it would have been a better weekend for her. Next, I will be going over what Wall Street thinks about what's happening with the stimulus package. Going into tomorrow's market opening, I have breaking details minutes ago about what the Dow Futures thinks about your stimulus package, and they're generally correct. Third, I'll go over what Fox Business News, that epitome of nonpartisanship, thinks about the relief situation and why Mitch McConnell's closing of the Senate is getting backlash. Ironically, this is a Fox News report. And finally, I'll be answering some of your incredible 960 questions from last night. But let me get to the breaking news. The breaking news as we sit here tonight is that the president is in and out, and in and out literally, of Walter Reed Medical Center. He took a nice joyride in an armored vehicle next to Secret Service members who may not have been in fitted fitted mask in a armored vehicle in which the air is recirculated because it's an armored vehicle. I'm not going to comment further about that. You do that as well. But let me get to the breaking details. That Nancy Pelosi had problems with that. She had problems with the president not giving us details. She had problems with lack of information about what's going on with the president's medical condition. And then she was asked, what's going on with your stimulus? She's like, well, whatever. I just changed the subject. I can't make up this crap. I really can't. So the wonderful reporters at CBS that actually asked the hardest pressing questions you could possibly asked Nancy Pelosi. So did you see the president's tweet yesterday? That was the damn question. The president tweeted yesterday that the country needs stimulus. Nancy responded, it does. Then the interviewer then said, does that mean that you have come to an agreement, or are you close to a deal on the relief bill? No. I love this. You see why we never know anything? Because these people literally just don't ask anything of any value. But needless to say, thank God Nancy continued no past that one word. No deal. It means that we want to see that we will agree on what we need to do to crush the virus so that we can open the economy and open our schools safely. Wow. That's a run-on sentence. That's almost like George Bush Jr. back in the day, where the sentence would go on for 20 minutes and it'd be the same sentence. It means that we want to see that they will agree on what we need to do to crush the virus. Okay, I don't know what that means, and I've read it a few times. Uh, Needless to say, the interviewer, thankfully, was confused as well. So you're not closer than on Friday when the airline deal fell apart? Okay, wait a second, interviewer. There was no airline deal on Friday. And there, goodness, not only the questions are wrong, the questions are factually incorrect. Speaker Pelosi, well, the interviewers when, so Speaker Pelosi responds, well, we're making progress. Disclaimer, please don't drop in the comments, he's high again. Because every time I smile or I laugh a little bit more, you're like, he's high again. He's been drinking. It's just, okay. Well, we're making progress. We were trying to get the done in the House, but then the Republicans objected. But what I said to the airline executives in a public statement is don't fire people. The relief is on the way. So, and will be retroactive. What? I mean, let me pause for a second. It's really nice that she said that the relief for the airlines is on its way. That's reassuring. But then she says, and it will be retroactive. It's not retroactive. The airline relief is $25 billion. It's not retroactive. Doesn't she even know her own thing? So let's keep them employed, because separate from the other industries, when you're fired, when you let go in the airline industry, it takes months or years to be recertified, reclassified, all of that, security clearances and the rest. Not like if somebody has a kind of job, they leave and they come back. So that makes a difference. Sort of like when a Speaker of the House leaves, you don't have to recertify them. It's so much easier to just lay off Speakers of the House, so you don't have to deal with them, and you don't have to recertify them, and you don't have to pass them for security clearances. I just think we should take that into consideration this November, don't you? But also, could that come this week? Said the reporter. The reporter with these really soft questions. Could this come through this week? That just depends on if they understand what we have to do to crush the virus. That's my favorite expression, crush the virus. Every time I hear that, it reminds me of that that I Love Lucy scene where she's in the Italian winery stomping on the olives. We got to crush the virus. We got to smash that virus. Or it sounds like one of those YouTube channels. He's like, crush the like button. You can just say we need to do something, but we're going to let the virus run free. What? Now if it even run free, now it's even run free in the White House. Oh, okay. The virus is running free in the White House. Sort of like the cows at the casino. Think of how it is in a poor neighborhood where the president is insisting that children actually go back to school in order to get the funding that he's recommended. These poor kids are, okay, we're back to the kids. Is the question. The interviewer's question is Speaker Pelosi, largely minority children, blah, 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 science. More questions about science. And I'm trying to get to see if she says anything else about stimulus. And that's about it. Well, amid a very bad interviewer and a very bad speaker, you got so much clarity from the situation, didn't you? Needless to say, on Friday, the speaker said the deal was imminent. That was her exact words. The deal is imminent, and it'll be reached on Sunday. Now the deal is progress. Then sentence later, the deal is, well, if they can understand the severity of what we need to crush the virus. I could do 25 minutes right now, slamming her and doing mic drop all over her silliness of saying, is crushing the virus giving the Department of Treasury a raise? Is crushing the virus giving the Department of Trademark a raise? Is crushing the virus giving the judiciary a raise? What exactly is crushing the virus, Nancy? Is that just sort of one of your storylines that you get in a textbook? Remember remember that sitcom where all the sister witches were in? They opened a book and there was like a series of cast of spells that you sort of read from. It's like she has a script that she just defaults to every time. It's like, okay, we're going to just repeat crush the virus. And needless to say, that's all that interview was. What is the Dow thinking about this? The actual real Dow, not the faux Dow. Well, the Dow, the New York Stock Exchange, believes that we could get a stimulus package, and they're also hopeful about where the situation is going with the president. Stock futures rose in overnight trading on Sunday as investors brace for another volatile round of President Donald Trump's hospitalization, says CNBC, but Dow futures climbed 150 points Sunday night. The S&P 500 futures and the NASDAQ 100 futures both rose about 0.5%. This is tonight. This is after Trump's minute-long video where he's saying getting big reports from the doctors. What is the reaction? Matt Maley, chief market strategist at Miller Tabak tonight, this is a report tonight, said the announcement by Trump added yet another level of uncertainty to the election, an election in itself of the many uncertainties surrounding the stock market. This is amid news as we started Sunday morning where Trump is now behind 14% of the polls. And this is amid the jobs report on Friday, which I detailed extensively on this channel. Now, how about sort of the reaction to Mitch McConnell closing the Senate? I got to tell you, this is about as ridiculous as I could possibly report. But in all the reports, whether it's CNBC, well, I didn't say the network yet. I cut myself off. Whatever network it is, all of them seem to talk about doing a deal for stimulus, but seem to forget the Senate's closed. It's as though no one heard the Senate was closed on Saturday. And they keep on talking about, well, there's hope to get the stimulus deal into law by Monday or Tuesday. Do they not know the Senate was closed? Someone has not told some of these reporters and some of these networks that the Senate is closed. No joke. They're literally reporting it as though they did not hear the Senate is closed. Needless to say, the viewers of this channel are more informed than broadcast news reporters at this point. Forbes Media Chairman Steve Forbes went off today about what is needed for more stimulus negotiations, but Democratic Massachusetts Representative Catherine Clark slammed Mitch McConnell today for closing the Senate. This is Fox Business News, at least they got it right. And she was very emotionally upset that airline workers had been laid off. She was on a plane to D.C., and the flight attendant went on the speaker and announced, "This is my last night." On my flight home from D.C., the flight attendant got on the loudspeaker and announced it was her last flight. She cried as she told us to stay safe and how grateful she was to work with passengers and there for her businesses. Clark was so emotionally pushed by that she posted it to Facebook, and then she slammed Mitch McConnell. And she said relief has been sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk since May. The cost of lives and livelihoods is excruciating. Needless to say, this is a Fox Business News report, and so they didn't react to the story. I'm going to react to the story right now. There's millions of people who have been laid off since March and since May, and you're just reacting because you saw someone today. That's a little bit petty and a little bit sort of conjecture. I mean, not conjecture, amplified. The fact that you're just reacting to your first scene of a person losing their job now in October, when millions of people are losing their jobs every month, and the Democratic Party has refused to do a standalone bill for unemployment benefits, it's things like this that people just sort of wonder what people like, what's her name? Catherine Clark are doing, that you're just sort of emotional about the situation now, and you have not been emotional about the situation since before now, and that your fellow Democrats have called for a standalone bill to give people unemployment benefits since, July, and your leader, divine despot, Ms. Pelosi, has not done it. Just, this is where people just sort of don't buy into the crap. 960 comments from last night. Let me go over a couple of them. Michael, they won't get any votes. They'll froze their asses. Daniel, all Congress cares about is stiffing the already overstuffed pockets. Alice, our government has let us down. We pay for taxes and we make them rich. Jay Callie, Mitch may be the laziest SOB ever. Ridiculous. Let me explain to you where we are tonight, because I know it's inherently very confusing. So let me recap and explain to you how we can get to the finish line. I know there's a lot of twists and a lot of turns. First, the Senate is closed, so you cannot have a law. You cannot have a law. The bill has to go into the Senate and has to be voted upon by the Senate. And when I mean by the Senate is closed, I mean the Senate is on recess after a third senator all Republican, was announced positive on Saturday. Mitch McConnell, who earlier that day said he would not close the Senate, closed the Senate, and Democrats were asking for the Senate to be closed as well. So I want to make that clear as well. Mitch McConnell is not closing the entire Senate operations. He's only putting the Senate on recess, which means that no laws can be passed. You will see on Monday members of a Senate judiciary working. That is not part of the Senate floor, and that is certainly an issue that Democrats are having an issue with, that he's going to be working on getting the judicial nominee approved, but not getting laws passed. Yeah. Tacky. Moreover, I've been detailing all day long, but I want to explain it again. I have been calling on the Purple Power to go on social media and push the problem solvers, push the Blue Dogs, push the New Democrat Coalition, urge for the president to do an executive order to change the rules of the Senate and allow remote voting. I got to tell you, it's crazy. The way it's situated now is the Senate cannot have remote voting because it's not in the rules of the operations of the Senate. And the only way the Senate can change those rules themselves is coming back into session, which they're not going to. Mitch has put them on to break to October 19th because a bunch of senators refused to wear a mask, and now they are positive, and he has shut down all lawmaking of the United States government to October 19th. I just can't believe I'm even saying this. It sounds ridiculous. Now, the hope is the Purple Power will push the president to do an executive order to order the Senate to open remote voting only and to get laws passed. I mean, the president has been tweeting a lot of stuff about stimulus, but let me get to that right now. You have seen tweets from the president. You have seen tweets from Steve Scalise. You've seen comments by the president. But I got to tell you, none of that means much of anything by purposes of law because the Senate is closed. You could say, I want to get stimulus relief, I want to get this, I want to get that, but the Senate's closed. So until it opens or someone orders it opened, it can't get anything into law. The president, however, can do executive orders, so the Purple Power needs to push that as well. The president can do executive orders for stimulus check. The president can do executive orders for FPUC. The president can do executive orders for a lot of these things. It's just a lot of confusion of why this president thinks it's more important, I'm about to go there, and more important to drive around in an armored vehicle and expose yourself to Secret Service officers rather than get out stimulus checks to American people. Do you think that the person has his priorities wrong? Millions of American people are homeless, facing homeless, hungry, and need a desperate repair. And your focus is getting yourself out for a press op to wave to a couple of people on a curb. Now you sort of know why your stimulus checks have not been sent out by executive order. That's opinion. Clearly opinion. Anthony Alamo, I'm learning most people are naive and actually think that our leaders don't have independent agendas that don't involve us. Ricardo Carino. Apparently there's nobody running our government. Veronica, it's just as simple as this. They're playing games, JR Streets. It just seems they're intentionally trying to ruin the country. Yeah, I mean, that's what Pelosi's been accused of. She's been accused of not giving you stimulus. She has said that she's not going to give you stimulus and carry this all the way to January 2021 and hope there's a Biden win, and that the House and Senate flip, the Senate flips, and that everything is passed in January. Kim, if they're not doing their job, why are they even working for us? Because people need to show up to the polls and vote them out. Seats for stimulus. We're not leaving that, folks. Don't forget it. Coming up next is Purple Power. Come on, Purple Power, to push again. Patricia, Jency. If we don't get stimulus by next week, it's time to vote them all out. Patrice Horn. They plan for wars, but not plan for the virus. And they could do it if they want to. Jeffrey, they make me feel like not feeling good. You can see where things are going. It's a lot of twists and turns tonight, and I'm here, you're here, and I really appreciate your patronage. You know, the traffic for today has absolutely been through the roof. The traffic for yesterday has been through the roof. It has been sort of a confusing mess to filter through a day in which the news cycle changes by the hour. That's the benefit of at least having 4 hours of programming in a given day. So go to the Funnest channel, subscribe, because you will get alert when a new video goes live. And there's a couple of videos per day now. Also like this video. Coming up next is Purple Power. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and save ally for more.